some weird porn version.
No, it's just Thor and Hope.
Where they
Ragnarok.
Nice. Okay, this is our first episode of Married with Television, and I wanted to start out with a new show we could watch and talk about, because there's so many TV shows that we watch and that we talk about, and a lot of them are being canceled. We're on our last season. I know. Before we started, I made a little list of just the things we could talk about on TV. We almost have to have categories because it's huge. I mean, we can break it into.
I didn't see your list. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so, and I also wanted to talk about movies too, because we were just, we're going to go see this.
I Tonya.
We're going to go see this solo premiere. We've been watching I, Tonya every other day. It's just been kind of on in the background. I love that movie, and the reason why we really like that movie...
We lived that movie.
That was the big
news story
thing
of
in
our
the
time
90s.
period.
It was Tonya Harding and all that.
No, even earlier than that. 91 is when we started to hear about that,
And then it was...
the
O.J.
scandal.
Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
And what order, like, Michael Jackson's...
trial.
Yeah, Michael Jackson had a thing with
Phil
kids.
Spector had
whatever.
a thing.
Phil Spector had a thing. But then the really big thing was Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. And that was that kind of took us through the 90s, like scandals like that instead of, then we had wars and 9/11 and that kind of... See, my point is we have so much stuff to talk about. Here's the list of TV shows. Lucifer, we love that, and iZombie, and those are both DC Comics.
Vertigo.
They're Vertigo, but that's part of DC, right?
Yep.
But we would probably end up talking about a lot of comic book things and comic book related TV and movies, because we watch a lot of that. But we also watch comedy and stuff like that. So we watch The Middle a lot.
I love The Middle because we can relate to it.
Right. It's like working poor people.
How we grew up. That's literally how we grew up.
Because it's not... it's their life is really pretty good, sort of, but not. It doesn't.
Nothing amazing ever happens. Like every chance I get to, it's like something horrible happens.
It doesn't
Nothing goes
glamorize poverty the way that. What was that show that we watched?
Shameless?
No.
Raising Hope.
Raising Hope.
Yeah.
And Raising Hope was connected to
My Name is Earl.
My Name is Earl. And those were like. They were really poor, but it glamorized poverty in ways that, like...
Yeah, you win a lottery ticket.
Like, they didn't need health care because they ate off the floor. Yeah. And so they never got sick.
They were immunized.
So they were immune. And the poor rich girl who was on there...
Shannon Woodward.
Yeah.
That is on Westworld now.
Yeah, she's one of the proprietors on Westworld. But she, she got sick all the time because... poor her, she was rich. And but The Middle doesn't do that. It doesn't glamour. I mean, they managed to make it through because it's a TV show.
You were, like, stating a list, though, and we just started going off on The Middle.
So I got off on The Middle. I'm going to probably go off on all of these. Okay, so Lucifer, iZombie. Now,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm mad about that one right now. That's, like, what me and our son watch. That's, like, our show. That and Gotham. Gotham's not canceled, but that's on Fox, so it might as well be.
Another DC property, Gotham. Yeah. And I kind of stopped watching Gotham, but you can keep watching it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but addictive, I guess.
Yeah, I think DC has that about it in general.
Yeah.
It's like fun to watch, but...
Well, anything in Batman's universe is
you have to
really
ridiculous. Suspend a lot of disbelief.
Cops are this ridiculous? Okay.
Yeah, they don't have Earth cops on that show.
No.
It's just like, how would that happen ever? Is what you're thinking of when you're watching that. And we can get into that. We could do a whole show.
I would love to do that because there's one thing in Gotham that I loved, and it's how they made the Penguin fall in love with the Riddler. If you haven't seen it. Yeah.
Spoilers.
I'm sorry.
Wait, and I'm going to probably say like all of our stuff. We're just going to freely talk about these things.
You got to say that ahead of time because
With,
no, I'm not going to censor my. If it's something that hasn't been put out yet that we've seen, we won't talk about it.
Maybe ahead of time we won't.
No.
We're not doing that anytime soon that I know.
Yeah, no, I don't have any
solo premiere.
No, and we're not going to the
not
premiere.
the premiere, but the first.
That already
first
happened.
Day, and there's like a party and stuff.
It's coming, villainy.
So Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that's one of the ones that's being canceled. Modern Family is kind of
ending.
its course. I guess.
It's ending. This is its last season. Same with the middle. The middle end. All these shows that we're watching are ending. Other than iZombie and Lucifer might be up in the air. I don't know.
But the comedy we're watching now, that as far as I know is still going, is Great News.
Great News. I can check that right now. See if there's going to be a third season.
Nicole Richie.
Oh my god.
Awesome on that show. And what's the newscaster's name? The main guy?
I can't think of his name. Hold on.
Name?
Chuck. His name's Chuck, but his actor's name I can't. I lost
he's
it.
very famous.
I gotta look it up. I usually would know this off the top of my head, but I have too many things in my head.
But it's written by Tina Fey. It's created by Tina Fey.
I don't think she writes every episode.
But, like Tina Fey created it, but it's amazing. It is really funny and just absurd.
Even when she is on that show, those couple episodes are pretty good with her. Like normally, I'm not like I love Tina Fey's writing, but like Mean Girls and they're not my kind of movies or things. Yeah. But on those episodes she's on Great News, especially there's one where she's tries to sexually harass the entire office.
Yeah, she's trying really hard to get a sexual harassment suit against herself.
All the men get these big huge payouts, and that's all she wants.
She just
can't
wants
do
to
it.
quit and get a big payout to be forced to quit, so she doesn't have to work anymore. So she's trying to get. I mean, that's and the thing is, it has these moments that are just completely. It's like a normal show, but there's these moments that are completely.
It's not even worth talking about if it's canceled. Though, let me look it up. Briga Heelan plays Katie. I love her. Andrea Martin is like the star because she's the mom.
Right.
And John Michael Higgins. Okay, I did. Higgins. Yes.
And he's really funny. He's like the older anchor guy.
The best funny there is on that show. Oh my god.
This one person, one of the main characters is dating. He's like, you don't want to come to my house. I don't even have a fridge. I just have a fan pointed at some American cheese. And then they pan over and it's literally just this fan on a stool. There's a stack of American cheese. That's his fridge. And then they call back to that later. There's so many stupid, absurd, like she calls her boobs Bebop and Rocksteady. Leave Bebop and Rocksteady out of this or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. They have a mind of their own, I guess.
Bebop and Rocksteady have a mind of their own. And Bebop and Rocksteady are two of the enemies in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
The big pig guy and the big rhino guy or whatever. But on this comedy about a news show...
I still can't. Anyway. Apparently it is still going as far as IMDb knows.
So the other kind of comedy that we watch is The Good Place.
Oh, maybe it's not.
That's not going on right now. It's in the middle of its seasons. I don't know if that's canceled either.
Let me check on. That's an NBC though, so that's probably on. Let's see.
So,
Good Place.
And we love that show, and we'll love to talk, and we'll be talking about that too when it comes back on. We'll definitely be talking about that.
That's amazing.
Kristen Bell and Ted Danson is incredible. Everybody is good in that show.
The guy that plays Chidi.
And the writing,
William Jackson Harper, that dude is
and
awesome.
It's very unexpected, a lot of what happens. So we love that.
Apparently that's still going on too.
Okay, so back to comic books. Legion. And we could have a whole series about just talking about Legion.
Legion is the most visually beautiful television, almost even cinematic thing I've seen. Like,
it's gorgeous.
I can't even describe how, even if you don't know anything about X-Men, or it doesn't matter. Just watching it is like...
If you've never heard of mutants or the comic books or anything,
they refer to them, but it doesn't matter though.
But the fact that it's Charles Xavier's son,
and they do refer to his biological father, so he wasn't raised by.
Did they ever name him though?
No.
Did they ever say the name?
Not yet. Not as far as I've seen it, and we haven't seen everything.
We know from the comics.
They say your father was one of the most powerful mutants. That's as much as you get.
Charles Xavier's son.
It's his son.
And I guess he thinks he's got mental problems, but really he has mental powers.
No, they tricked him into thinking he was schizophrenic.
Right.
But
he's having visions that are real. No,
he's a mutant with Xavier's powers times like 10 or something, right?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'll have to look that up. What his powers are. Whenever I see a Marvel person, and I want to know how tough they are in any aspect compared to other ones, there's a website I was going to. It's like classic. Nerd website. It's called ClassicMarvelRPG.com.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
And it basically has all of their stats, and so you can look. You can see like who's tougher, Thor or the Hulk, and they have like basically the same strength in that, or whatever, and you can tell who has more the psyche.
Yeah, have you ever him versus him? Who would win?
you can kind of tell just by that.
Well, he has this, but he has that.
Because they're pretty accurate, like Marvel Classic RPG, and then there's
are they accurate as far as the movies? So
the movies really, really follow it. I mean,
I didn't know because they're
really good.
I'm never going to look at an RPG website.
Like, when Thor and the Hulk fight, they're pretty even up, and Thor just has a little edge because of his lightning, But strength-wise, they're about equal, You
could pound each other for hours. That was my way to say that.
Thor with his Thor with its hammer can hit harder than Hulk can generally punch, But whatever, you can tell.
We're referring to Thor Ragnarok right now. That's what we're referring to.
When they actually fight. We're not referring to some weird porn version.
No, it's just Thor and Hulk.
Where they
Ragnarok.
Nice. So that's big. What is there? There's like Rule 34 or something. It means like everything that exists has a porn version.
Where were we?
Jessica Jones. I watched a lot of the first season.
Yes, Kilgrave. I couldn't remember his name. I got Killmonger stuck in my head. So no, it's not.
He can
Eric
tell
Killmonger
people what to do. I just remember this one really disturbing scene where he goes into a house with his family, some random family, and he has dinner. He makes the kids go in the closet, and it was really scary. The kids actually peed themselves in the closet.
That was traumatizing. That was like NC-17 part of Jessica Jones.
Right, a lot of it was.
It is why I have not watched The Punisher yet.
I don't even know if I can bring myself.
I know, everybody, Marines that watch it are like crying and
everybody's
stuff.
saying it's so depressing, but of course it's
not. They're not. No, they're saying it's good, but it's intense.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know if I have the emotional energy to give to the Punisher.
Yeah, I don't right now for sure.
Like I don't have a word for what. Sad. I thought it was sad when Old Yeller died. I don't have a word for
what Frank Castle goes through.
So I don't know. We might watch The Punisher at some point.
I will. I absolutely. Because
I like to have fun when I'm watching.
Well, here's the other thing though: is Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher. They're all the Defenders, right?
I don't know if
they are
Defenders, but
I don't know if the Punisher is, but I know Iron Fist, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones are absolutely the Defenders. Punisher probably joins them because we haven't watched Defenders either. Mostly because I couldn't get through Iron Fist. I got really bored. I'm trying.
I mean, you just named like how many TV shows we'd have to watch. There aren't enough hours in the day to watch all these.
They're inclusive, though. Like, you have to, if you want to watch The Defenders, you have to watch all of those. I mean, you don't have to.
Like trying to watch Avengers,
I only watch them because I'm home all day, so while I'm doing stuff, I constantly have TV on going.
Without watching Iron Man and,
I thought Defenders were going to show up in Infinity War. Like, I think they're going to show up in the next movie.
Really?
I heard it at some point.
I mean, Luke Cage
needs
right?
to come back.
Don't they have the people that are?
They have like confirmed, but the story changes. They haven't filmed it yet, so that's unless it's filmed, it's always it's just based on because Variety, I believe, owns IMDb. So it's just based on what they want you to know or not.
I'll put a link to Marvel Classic RPG on the site. But having said all that, I decided that instead of trying to pick one of these things or trying to rehash something or whatever, we would start something fresh. So we're heading back to DC. So we're gonna start a new show, which seems like the wisest thing to do since we have a list of 400 things we could already talk about.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to start fresh, Season 1, Episode 1 of Black Lightning.
Which is, and I was reading that, I forgot the synopsis was, he's a high school principal teacher, right? High school principal.
He's a high school principal. I don't know much about it. I want to come into this really fresh.
I read the synopsis and I forgot that, and I think that kind of turned me off a little bit.
So anyway, I watched like the first 5 minutes of it, and I thought, this is all right. This is starting to be okay. We'll see, you know. I don't know. It might start out okay and get crazy, but Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin both said good things about it.
Did
okay,
they?
we're gonna go ahead and watch it. Then when we come back, we'll talk about it. Okay. Anyway, this guy's show. Okay, Black Lightning. We're gonna pretty much kind of tell the story of what's going on. Here's the first thing that kind of bothers me is like his daughter goes into this place where there's these gangsters and
the club. She went to the club.
She's in the club and she thinks some guy's kind of cute, but apparently he owes this gangster money. And the gangster's like, "Oh, you have your girl go hoe at this hotel to pay back the money." He was in Mortal Kombat. He was Raiden.
Yes,
but he was not. He was the not Christopher Lambert Raiden.
No,
he was the fake Raiden in cartoon.
But I'm saying, okay, you would know that. Okay.
That's well.
Yeah, he was in all the Van Damme movies. Okay, Boys on the Side.
Okay, so he's
Judge Dredd. He was in the '95 Stallone Judge Dredd.
He's a poor man's Christopher Lambert, if that makes sense. Which is funny because
Lambert. Please just say Lambert.
Because Christopher Lambert is already the poor man's Christopher Lambert.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. No.
I don't want to diss my man Christopher Lambert. Lambert. So anyway, okay. Back to what's already bugging me about Black Lightning is that Black Lightning is her father, and she's in this bad situation in this back room with some gangsters. He saw her walk in, right? So he goes to walk in, but there's like a bodyguard guarding the door, and he tries to stop the bodyguard, and he succeeds, but the bodyguard has a gun, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this the right way. And he like zaps. He like zaps the electricity.
He shuts the power off.
He basically shuts the power off with his electrical powers, right? And immediately, gangsters come out of that room and start shooting everywhere.
And there's randomly.
I mean, I might have to watch it again, but there was no, it didn't make any sense that they would just come out. Like, the power goes out, so they immediately come out shooting. That's their response to the power going out. Okay. They
had no care for the bodyguard, the bouncer, their employees, just whatever.
We're at minute 17.
We got 25 minutes.
Wait. Okay, so the whole thing is he's used to be Black Lightning, and he was wanted for vigilanteism.
Oh yeah.
And this police in the town is called Freeland.
Yeah, I assume it's like Southland or something.
Yeah, Freeland. DC Comics does this. Like DC Comics, DC movies. This is a very DC thing to say. They always have fictional towns.
Fiction, Gotham.
Yeah, and it's kind of the difference.
Atlantis.
Like Marvel has Los Angeles, and Marvel has New York. They generally they'll have fictional places like Wakanda and Asgard and whatnot, but stuff like that. But they pretty much in the real world. And
if they're destroying a city, they don't destroy New York.
Right, but they just destroy some
Sokovia,
or a fictional city, or a fictional country like Latveria,
even in Guardians of the Galaxy, when with the Kurt Russell Volume 2, when it starts taking over the world, there's those people.
It's some town.
Some Slavic town or something, just generic town. But
Rom Space Knight is a movie that's coming out. It's like a comic book I like, but that took place in Clarton, West Virginia, So they're usually kind of real places in Marvel. But here we are in Freeland with the principal of Garfield High. And so he's no longer Black Lightning. I guess he retired, but because some cops were really racist to him, they pulled him over, and because he was
that was a pretty intense scene.
A lot of that, and they're really getting into like a lot of racial stuff, a lot of talking about sort of how the current
the climate is
right, how the racial and all that stuff is great. That's good, and they're really handling that in kind of a cool way. Why these people came out shooting, though, I don't understand that. Maybe I missed a second or two.
They don't know any better, I think. That's the only way I could justify it, is they're not military or police, so they don't know proper tactics.
I don't think
it's like
any
a fight or flight
of
right?
the power went out. Let's go out shooting everybody.
No, it's not. I mean, not like that. But their fight or flight instinct takes over.
Right.
So and they're holding the gun. So
I don't think there was any kind of like firefight altercation that they were trying to get into. All right, on my show. Okay, we're at minute 35 now, and 33, and let's just I can't even wrap my mind around what's going on. Okay, I want to like this show, I do, and first episodes of things are always kind of because they got a lot to do. They've got a lot of exposition to get down. Okay, there's this gang called the 100. And
it's the 100 Club, and apparently the 100 Gang.
The 100 Club was the club called that because it's run by
the 100.
Okay, gang.
Whatever. All right, whatever.
Gang.
All right, that doesn't matter.
Apparently deals in prostitution and drugs like any street gang, but
really fastly too.
Yeah. Okay. So the whole point of him that we were talking about earlier, going into that room, was because the one of the gang members, who's the cousin of the leader of the gang, brought the girl into that room.
Black Lightning's daughter.
Yeah, and brought Black Lightning's daughter into there. So Black Lightning went in and made the power go down, which made them come out shooting.
But before that,
at all.
He basically sold her into prostitution after meeting her for an hour.
For not even an hour, like a minute.
Yeah, they're talking for 5 minutes.
They were talking about doing that so he could pay him back the money, just because she thought he was cute for a second, and they talked for a second, and then he brought her into that room, and suddenly now she's a victim of the gang. Really, she's like a straight-A student, and she's going to Garfield.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how they set this up, and then that guy stalked her to her school and went to her school, and then started to pull a gun on her at the school in front of everyone at the school. And so Black Lightning, the principal of Garfield School, comes out, grabs the gun, and has him.
He has his gun in his hand, and he's holding him.
He's holding him. He
told him he called the cops.
He has the power, and he's like, get out of here before the cops come, so the cops don't shoot you. And he just lets him go. It's like he already committed assault with the gun.
Never called the cops.
He never called the cops, and so we're like, why didn't he had him? He had him held there, this dangerous person who is threatening to shoot his students.
His daughters, not
literally his daughters.
Yes.
And, and so he lets him go before the cops get there, if they're even going to get there.
No, he never called them.
Oh, that's right. Okay, he never called the cops.
Because...
So later, so I'm like, this is ridiculous. But it kind of explains that, because he has this, he instead of calling the cops, he calls the gang leader to come there. And so the gang leader comes there, and he's like, okay, we have this...
no, he went to the gang leader.
Till he went to the gang leader.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. He went to the gang leader, because he knows the gang
from
leader.
High school.
Yeah, who was once his student,
Lavarius,
and he explains to the gang leader, we have this unwritten truce that, you do your thing, whatever, and Garfield is a safe zone. And I won't. That's why he didn't call the cops.
Yeah, he thought he could.
So he's like sort of doing his part in this unwritten, truce that they have, which apparently
means nothing. Apparently,
keeps Garfield safe. But then 5 minutes later,
not even 5 minutes, 1 minute later.
1 minute later, but I mean later on, maybe the next day in the story. That kid
comes back
with a couple other gang members, and then
kidnaps the two daughters.
Kidnaps his daughters.
Yes.
So all of that truce and letting him go and agreement and everything
a bunch of
was
bullshit.
For nothing. And I just
so now we're gonna finish this story, and
so we've got 8 more minutes, and
he caused this problem. He did. Why did he?
We're gonna see some Black Lightning.
He didn't become Black Lightning, and he didn't call the cops. So what the fuck did he do other than cause this escalation of?
Well, I guess, we expect people to be sane. People who run out and start shooting because the lights went down probably aren't going to honor their agreement.
We gotta view this like it's in Gotham almost. 'Cause
It is. It is totally like this is like the black part of
yeah.
Gotham.
Oh no, yeah,
really
you're right.
is.
Okay, that's probably what
so
it is. If that's the case,
it's DC.
I can
Things
get
are
on
like
with
Gotham.
that. All right,
all
okay.
right.
It's
We'll-
Gotham, the Black
we'll get
Gotham.
there.
Okay.
We'll get there. I mean, I like how it's handling a lot of things. And
But
I like
yeah,
the
they
message
could have
and
made
everything.
that
It's kinda
story
cool, but-
different. He could have not kidnapped them right from the school. He could. Why did he want them at all? Like, why does he?
Yeah,
care
it's
so
this
much?
girl that he met at this club full of girls, and I'm sure he must. He is the cousin of the leader of a major gang who has lots of money and drugs and everything, and I'm sure that but he risks everything. He just met her. It's not like they had. Maybe if they had like a forbidden romance or something.
Or they actually went in the bathroom and had sex.
Or
but
anything.
They didn't. No.
Anything.
Yeah.
It just there's not enough for the amount. The point where we're at now was not earned by this story. But okay,
all right.
we're gonna see some Black Lightning now. Okay, and on top of that, he's divorced, and the reason why he got divorced was because he was being Black Lightning and getting shot a bunch. I don't know why. I mean, he has this big Black Lightning, Scotty Black
I don't know.
Lightning suit.
Why does he wear a bulletproof vest?
Why
But
did
he apparently had a suit that I'm assuming.
A suit that was made by his tailor, who I guess is also his doctor, who stitches him up. But
we haven't established there. He's known him since Black Lightning's been 12 years.
He's been like a father to Black Lightning. He's Black Lightning's
surrogate father.
Jarvis or what?
Alfred,
yeah. Jarvis. Alfred.
Black Lightning's Alfred.
Not Jarvis. Jarvis is Iron Man's computer in the first movie or whatever. No, Alfred. It's his Alfred to his Batman, right? How come Batman can be...
Why could Batman give him a suit?
I don't know. I don't think he's from a completely different part. Anyway, so the point is, he's
divorced because she
he's divorced,
to...
but he wants to reconcile, but she's uneasy about it because she thinks he might be being Black Lightning again.
So why doesn't he just be Black Lightning and fuck it?
I don't, and so he's trying not to be Black Lightning. So they're trying to set up this will they, won't they get together romance thing with his ex-wife, and so he's always like flirting with her and trying to, they might not.
Well, they did all that for a reason.
All right, I may have been a little hard on Black Lightning. I mean, it had 40 minutes to establish so much, get a fight in, and so a lot of that was kind of hurried, but I don't know. It was a cool fight.
That was unexpected. That was a really unexpected ending.
We
didn't read anything about it.
Apparently, there's this bad guy. I can't really call it on Black Lightning.
There's a kingpin bad guy.
Yeah, there's like a bad guy.
Gang member, leader of the gangs.
More interesting. Right? It's got a lot of good things going for it.
It's got the weird DC villain weirdo crew, though.
It does. It is
very Gotham-y.
It's very Gotham.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Gotham.
So, and I like watching Gotham. You haven't watched it as much as I have, but I can give this... I'm watching it like I'm expecting it to be Luke Cage or...
Right, it's not Luke Cage.
I can't do that. Okay.
It's not Luke Cage. This is the difference to me between Marvel and DC. Like, Marvel is more realistic. It's about being realistic. It's about trying to...
This is about being a superhero.
This is about being more like a comic book.
Yeah.
Being more,
Which
so,
you understand more than I would, but
right, not really. I mean, a little bit, maybe, I guess. But this is a more about. It's almost like it's
comics.
allegory.
I read one comic.
That's true.
Electra Assassin, and only because the art was so beautiful.
Oh, that was an amazing comic. And it's hard to get, like, if that is your one comic...
It took me a long time.
Frank Miller and Bill Steinkovich, and Bill Steinkovich is really weird art that's like oil painting. It's kind of almost abstract.
Yeah.
And it's an Electra Assassin limited series. That is a weird one comic to have gotten into. But
I read it because you had it, so.
So anyway,
I'll give Black Lightning a go, but I'll watch it like I'm watching Gotham. Gotham is like it makes fun of itself, and you can laugh at it. I don't want to laugh at Black Lightning.
Yeah, Black Lightning has got this unrealistic campiness, but it's set in a background of really, like, racially charged political stuff, you know, that's very, very serious. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit harder for me to, like...
see the campiness.
Deal with Black Lightning in that same way, you know? So we'll see. I'll keep watching. We'll watch the next episode. Okay, that's it for
episodes are there? Wait.
That's it for our Black Lightning portion of the podcast. So it looks like we're going to keep going with it, though. It's got a lot of episodes to go.
13 episodes.
It's got 13 total episodes. So we'll have a Black Lightning session at some point in every single one of these.
We'll watch at least another one.
Yeah.
Not right now, but
all right.
In a minute.
That's it for the Black Lightning part. What's next?
What?
Okay, I looked it up. Free your willy. Edward Scissor Penis.
No.
Or Penis Hands.
Penis Hands.
Edward Penis Hands.
Edward Penis.
Scissor
Oh
Penis.
My God, that sounds like a terrifying movie.
That would be a terrifying. That would be like the horror version. But no, it is. I looked it up just now. It is Rule 34. It's Rule 34. Okay, so anyway, back to our list. We're not even done with our list yet. There's not much more on it, though. Back to DC.
Marvel.
Well, no, we're not Marvel. We're still in Marvel with Legion. But
Jessica Jones.
And Jessica Jones. And we haven't even...
you haven't really watched that, have you?
I watched the first season.
Did you watch the whole first season?
Yes. Oh. I watched the first season.
With a kill... What? I can't get anything but Killmonger out of my head. Stop. I do understand. I'm pretty sure I do understand.
Okay, so Legion and the bad guy, Farouk,
the Shadow King.
They finally, like, when I left off, they just, like, face off. And it's totally like one of those Marvel moments.
And the movie ends, right?
Yeah, when you see, like... Galactus facing the
you have to watch it. I can't even talk if I say anything about
or something. Like it was like so,
it'll fuck everything up if I say anything.
Such a big dramatic face off. It's like, all right, and David Legion is not afraid at all. He's just like
he gets even better.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to hear about it. I want to watch it. I just want to watch it. Oh my gosh.
I do too. Make me some dinner and then we'll watch it.
Legion is amazing. I'll make dinner and then we'll watch Legion when
we
eat dinner. Okay. All right, and then we're going to talk about it. Because I think we should do a whole thing about Legion.
We should. We should do a whole thing about how Hereditary is not worth it too.
Oh yeah, I would love to do a review of Hereditary.
I still want my money back. It was too late to ask for my money back.
Is it?
The trouble I'd have to go through. We sat through the whole movie. If we were going to leave, I almost asked you, like, we should go. But it was like, then stuff started happening.
Yeah.
And then
that's when it started becoming sort of a horror movie.
It was like an hour into that fucking movie.
Depressing movie that doesn't, I mean...
Even the twist wasn't that...
A twist does not work if you explain the whole thing before the twist happens. I knew what was going to happen. Yeah. I knew what was up. Like, as soon as she lifted her head and, like, started, exorcisting around... that's a verb now, exorcisting. It means you're crawling around on the ceiling, your head's spinning around, there's some vomit probably involved. Okay, we are walking to Pacific 18 Theater, Pacific 18 in Glendale, and we're walking for some reason.
Because you walk places. It's right there.
It's right there. It's only like a mile.
It takes us long for me to get there anyway.
You walk so fast, though. Okay, we're walking on our way to see Deadpool, and then we'll give a review of Deadpool. I think we'll do like a non-spoiler version and then a spoiler version or something.
I don't know what is spoilers and what isn't, though.
Well, spoilers are just like what specifically happens in the movie. And like a non-spoiler would be like how we like it, I guess, and what,
But we can't say anything specific.
Kind of more general things we liked about it, but not the plot points necessarily.
Okay. Well, we can talk about it first.
I was just saying, like, we've been doing this podcast for like 20 years, but that long ago.
We used to watch like whenever it was on AMC because we had cable and we lived together for the first time ever. So we watched like those old Sinbad movies. So whenever it was on,
we're not talking about Sinbad, the comedian or whatever. We're talking about Sinbad, the
original Aladdin.
The Arabian 40 Thieves guy. Really old movies.
No, that's like Alibaba.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the same character, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we've been doing this for a long time. We just didn't record it, and there was no such thing as a podcast. So now we're going to finally start recording it. See what happens. So I haven't seen any of the marketing for Deadpool.
The marketing for Deadpool is, wow. I don't even know the level of genius that took, or like if it was Ryan Reynolds going, I have no idea. But he's like at 7-Eleven, first of all. That's the first place I noticed him.
Deadpool slushies and stuff like that.
But he's also in Walmart on the cover of every Fox DVD.
Have you been to Walmart? You saw pictures of Walmart?
Look on the internet. No, just look on the internet. They all have Walmart price tags, and they're in like a thing, and it's just the cover is replaced. Like Predator, that one's like Predator, but it's Deadpool on the cover.
So instead of Arnold, it's Deadpool?
Yes.
What else? Is there other ones?
There's tons of them. There's the X-Men movies.
It's like 20th Century Fox things.
Yeah. You can look them up. Look them up online. They're really funny.
We'll have to put some pictures up.
Like, it made me kind of wish I still bought things on disc.
I kind of miss that. I do miss. I mean, we get everything streaming now, but I miss going and getting a thing and having it, kind of,
I don't miss bookshelves full of DVDs.
No, I don't miss just having it because we never watch it again.
I do miss the commentary. Like, I try to watch all the commentary before we upload it.
Don't you get the commentary on the streaming sometimes?
Never. Only Star Wars was the first one I've ever seen a commentary on.
Wow.
Yeah. Streaming, anyway.
I thought they had like special features like that, but just not the commentary, but they'll have like deleted scenes and stuff.
They have deleted scenes that they give commentary for, but never the whole movie. Like, if you buy Southland Tales, you don't get Richard Kelly and Kevin Smith's commentary.
Wow.
Or Donnie Darko, sorry.
Man, we got a long ways to still walk.
Told you.
Okay. Well, if we don't think of anything else, we'll see it after Deadpool. Okay, so this is like...
I don't even know what to say.
I know. It was so awesome.
I love that they played Dolly Parton within the first 5 minutes of that bit.
Oh my God. It was 9 to 5, right?
Yeah, they were playing 9 to 5. 9 to 5.
They called back to so many things.
Oh, it immediately started with the Wolverine shot,
than
right?
Ready Player One.
Immediately it was the Wolverine shot. That was like the first thing, right? You see the Logan. No, not even Wolverine.
The first thing we see is a reference to Logan. I don't want to give away anything. I don't even want to have like a spoiler review because there's so many cool things.
We have to do it now and then maybe post it later.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We'll just talk
I
about
have
it.
to talk about it.
I want to have something.
Before I forget.
Just go see it. Go see it.
There was so much I want to talk about.
You will not
right
regret seeing it at all.
I want to talk about it so bad.
It was so funny. Okay, well, yeah, we can go now. I just want like our official just like before someone see the movie.
But I just want to talk to you about it.
What would you say to them
before they see the movie?
Yeah.
Just see it unless you don't want to. I don't know.
Okay, first of all, you know how the last Deadpool movie, like, we were dumb and we took our kids.
Don't take your kids.
Okay.
Again.
No. I don't think it's that way this time.
Do you think he was serious when he said it was a family movie? No, I don't think so.
Yes,
it shows penis, man.
Not really. It was just like this really small like
I don't think
CGI
it's his
thing.
penis at all, though. I bet you $10 he did.
And I
said, I think he'll show up for like a minute.
I thought they would. I thought they would just like.
It's not Adam
I thought
Devine.
for sure that the camera would just linger on his penis.
Adam Devine.
For a long time. I thought he was totally gonna. What did they say in Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
What?
he shows dong or something.
The dong shot.
He has a dong shot or something like that.
There's a dong shot.
He shows dong.
And
No,
he doesn't.
He doesn't really in this.
No, I knew he wouldn't. I knew he wouldn't sit there with it. It's not like, even John C. Reilly that shows penis and Walk Hard.
Yeah, but somebody did.
But
and it's
Adam
terrible.
Devine shows it in Game Over Man for like 5 minutes.
Wow, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. So anyway, I think this one would be better. It's very violent, but it's very campy, like almost video gamey violence. And I can't say things that I want to say really bad.
I can write though about that. We took our kids to the first Deadpool, and
that was
I
just
didn't care about
embarrassing.
fucks or violence. I mean, I care about it, but I know my kids know better.
There was just super graphic sex.
Sex, so much sex. There's not nearly as much sex in this one.
There's literally none.
There's no sex. They talk about it like making a baby really graphically.
Yeah, but not even really that bad.
I would have taken my kids
I
to
would
that.
not have been embarrassed.
No. But yeah.
And that's the whole thing. It's not like I didn't want. And our kids are like not that young anyway. Like
it's just
13,
awkward. We don't
at the
want
last one, he was what, 12 and 15 or something like 11 and 15.
Yeah. 12. No, maybe was it last year?
Yeah, no, it's a couple years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
So we took him to the theater, and there was a big sex scene. It was embarrassing.
And there was also mine and Tarkin's, like one of our favorite actors from our favorite show at the time, Bones, was right behind us.
And Gotham.
No,
that's right.
When we were in Deadpool,
We saw the first
TJ
Deadpool.
Tyne in there.
TJ Tyne was in the theater with us, and we didn't want to talk to him. I got popcorn right next to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you
didn't say that.
I couldn't even remember what's his name in Bones.
Hodgins.
Hodgins, yes. Hodgins from the TV show Bones was literally in the theater, like
Jack Hodgins.
2 seats back from us. And actually 1 seat back from us. And we just kind of ignored him. He was out with his wife, and we didn't want to like.
He was just he was by himself, or he was with somebody.
He was with his wife.
Yeah. I don't know if they're married.
You said it was, and I just always trust you.
I said either his girlfriend or his
About
wife.
who?
Or somebody. I don't know. Somebody he cares about.
Okay, well, whatever.
What the fuck does it matter?
Whatever. He was with someone, not us. And
He was
so.
out doing his stuff, private stuff. Just like when we saw Charlie Day in the
Yes, but anyway, we digress. If your kids are teenagers or above, or even like 12, I'd say you probably are okay with, not much.
If they're the kind of kids that are okay with that, and you're the kind of family that's okay with that.
Yeah,
it's not,
exactly.
Like, I would not recommend it to anybody I didn't know.
Right.
To say, go take your kids, but
It wouldn't be. I'll tell you this: if you were dumb and you took your kids to the last Deadpool movie, this wouldn't be as bad.
Take it to them. Take them to it.
Then you might as well go to this one.
But when we say kids, we're talking about teenagers.
Again,
and
we're
lots
talking
of
about
people are
over
talking about,
12. We're not talking about taking your little kids to go see.
No, hell no, don't do that.
Like if you would take your kid to see Logan, for example.
No, that's not a good example because people maybe not have seen it. I would say if you would take your kids to see John Wick.
Oh my God! If you would take your kids to see John Wick, then go ahead.
Go crazy.
Yeah, knock yourself out. So, yeah. So this one is not kid friendly, but it's more kid friendly than the last one was.
Absolutely.
I'll say that.
Just for the sex content alone.
Right. So, okay. So let's actually talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, well, definitely spoil. They did the Juggernaut right.
What the fuck? I was like, I forgot
right.
they're an X-Men universe for a minute, and was trying to figure out who it was, but then you see his helmet.
That's all those X-Men. Like, did you see who was in there?
They had Quicksilver, and that's who I focused on in Beast. I couldn't
Beast and
see
Quicksilver.
everybody.
I think Storm was in there.
Was she?
Yeah, I think so.
I just saw Quicksilver and couldn't look at
it. Happened so fast that I wanted to stop and rewind it to see how the X-Men.
I want to tell our son to watch and tell us who he sees in the room.
Right. Look and see who he sees.
Yeah, I won't spoil it for him or anything. Just say, when you see the X-Men, tell me how many you see.
But that was what made me so mad about the previous X-Men was they had Juggernaut, and it was...
Yeah.
Who was it? What's that guy's name?
Vinny Jones.
I can't get him mixed up with Jason Statham.
No, No, it's Vinnie Jones.
That's Vinnie Jones. Okay. No, I'm Juggernaut. That's not Juggernaut. It's nothing like Juggernaut.
They also referenced him as being Xavier's brother.
Yes, and he's Xavier's brother. They did
stepbrother
right.
or whatever, but still.
They
He said, "No, my brother's in a wheelchair."
He has his helmet on. And
Yes.
you know. They did, and that's how he talks. Like in the cartoon, he talks like that.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm trying to.
He's
I
like
want to
very
watch that
sluggish,
cartoon
and he
again.
talks just like that. Like,
Yeah.
And he's big, and he's Charles Xavier's brother. Like, do it right,
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that pissed me off about that X-Men Last Stand. Right, that's when he was in.
Yes.
That I know people hate that movie. I know it's not the best X-Men movie, but I can't ever say I hate it. If you watch it out of order and fast forward stuff, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's not a compliment either, but still.
And they do this in comic book movies, so they used to. They're not doing it so much anymore. Is they'll take a hero and sort of get their origin and everything right, and do as much right as they can, translate it to a movie. But then they'll take some villains or whatever, and it's like whatever, we'll just make him from another planet, or we'll just make him just a regular mutant, or they just screw him. The worst example is Doctor Doom, but I want to do a whole show on that. That was terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, Deadpool was awesome.
Oh my god, I'm going to go see that again.
And definitely stay past the credits.
Yeah.
At least past the first credits.
Stay through the midway credit scene. We didn't stay for the last credit scene, but I'm going to look it up online.
We'll look it up and see if there's...
It's really late. We got to get back.
Okay, so...
I got to fly to Tennessee tomorrow.
Yay. Okay, Deadpool, thumbs up.
Yeah. No, middle fingers up.
He broke the fourth wall a lot.
Well, he did in the last one, too. Just the same amount.
In a really good way.
Just the same funny way, but even better.
Yeah, it was way better. And I did not realize how much Ryan Reynolds did all that.
I tried to tell you, everybody. I'm like, no, why was he in that bad X-Men movie? And then he still was a character because he liked the character so much he wanted to do it right. He pushed to get this movie made.
He wrote it. He wrote part of it.
Yes.
He was one of the 3 people who wrote it. He was one of the people who produced it. Ryan Reynolds is responsible for those movies.
Yes.
And
not
God bless
solely,
him.
but and then the opening credit scene. We were just talking about that. Has anybody since Star Wars omitted title credits?
That's right. Star Wars, George Lucas.
He did it in the first Deadpool, but this one was even a cooler way. I don't even know what's the word I'm looking for.
He was imitating James Bond Movie Beginnings.
Yeah. That was really Green Lantern. I
didn't hate Green Lantern that much. It was alright.
I don't hate it. I don't hate any movies.
I know you love every movie.
But I watch the ones that Tarkin likes. I watch more than other people would probably, and I have more of a respect for them because what I don't like is when people they complain about plot holes and stuff that I can look beyond, like Resident Evil. That they do that really bad. In Resident Evil, they change a story, but it's not about a fucking story. It's a movie based on a video game. It's some of the coolest action I've ever seen. Female-driven action too. And when I talk about Domino, how fucking cool was she?
Oh my God, she was. Really
and she was
cool.
just her character's just happy. She knows nothing's gonna go bad for her.
She's luck's not a power.
Yes,
it totally reminded me of.
Mystery Run?
Yes.
Yep.
Mystery Run when they had that superhero audition thing,
No, I was thinking that when that was happening. They have
well, what's your power? I don't really have a power. I just, saw the ad and thought it'd be fun.
That was Terry Crews and
You're
Bill Skarsgård were part of that.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. Freaking,
yes, no, I
you know who Terry Crews is.
Yes, definitely.
But
he
Bill
was awesome.
Skarsgård is the, you'll know him from Hemlock Grove, but he also played in It.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or Pennywise, sorry.
Oh my God, that was, what's his name in Hemlock
The
Grove?
vampire.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember his name in Hemlock.
He was good in this, too. I was hoping they'd save his character for a minute.
I know.
He was such a different character. It was awesome.
We watched Hemlock Grove, and
he actually had 3 dimensions.
I could not deal with Hemlock Grove.
The actors weren't bad. The story was just...
The story was ridiculous. But anyway, back to Deadpool.
I know. When we talk, you have to realize I'm going to say, oh, yeah, and he is in this and this and this, because you won't know.
You have to, because otherwise I won't, like, I'll be like,
I'll
who's
get
that guy?
annoyed,
That guy
like,
looks familiar, and you'll
You've
tell
seen
me.
him like a million times.
Like, Jamie's a walking IMDb, so she'll be, oh, he was in that, and he was also married to her, who was in that, you know, I'm like, Jesus, okay.
That's all I did for a while. Like, okay, when the internet was first, like, accessible to everybody further than, like, IRC boards or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
What's, like, one of the first things you looked up? Or, you know, other than porn?
I can't remember, but
Really?
Yeah, you know.
IMDb was my first addiction to the internet.
God, that's tough. I'm trying to think of, like, what were the first things that I surfed when you surfed the web?
I didn't have internet until people full on had full internet, you know. It was dial-up, but...
For me, it was like, I was trying to get video games. Like, I was just trying to download, like...
But what's, like, your moment where you're like, oh, shit, I could just look this up?
Wolfenstein 3D.
You know?
Oh, yeah. You know, Wikipedia did that to me for a long time.
Yeah, I never got on Wikipedia, but I'd look up
When
things
it was first
like...
out, I was like, wow, you can look up anything.
Okay, the two things... I got really addicted to IMDb really fast, but also, there was a list of Misfit songs and the movies they were from, and I got obsessed about watching every possible movie I could that was a Misfits song. Danzig Misfits.
Oh, of course.
But that was finding all those movies and IMDb. That was my fucking thing.
So, okay, at the very end, and this is a big spoiler, watch the movie. Don't listen to this until you watch the movie. But at the end, past the credits, Ryan Reynolds goes back in time, and he not only fixes all the stuff bad that happened in this movie, but he fixed all of his bad stuff that happened in the movie.
Right, he fixed Ryan Reynolds' timeline.
Yes, he fixed Ryan Reynolds' timeline, and there was a point where he autographs a cereal box.
Yeah, in the movie.
And he autographs it Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
And he goes back and he goes back to the Deadpool character from Wolverine, right?
Yep. Origins.
Wolverine Origins. You know, and it shows Deadpool in his old ways.
And just take that scene.
And so he just comes in and he goes, oh, hi, Wolverine, you know, don't scratchy. Hold on, I'll fix this. And then he shoots himself. He shoots the old Deadpool.
Like 100 times.
Yeah, he just shoots him a bunch of times. He's like, okay, bye. And then he goes and he sees Ryan Reynolds with a script for a Green Lantern.
And he says, I made it.
And Ryan Reynolds, a younger Ryan Reynolds with this screenplay of Green Lantern. He's like, yes, you're in the big time now. And Deadpool shoots him. Yep. So he fixed that.
It kind of works out for Warner Brothers, though, because they're redoing that anyway.
So he literally just went back in time and fixed his own timeline.
Yep.
It was crazy.
That was
not just breaking the fourth wall. That was like...
I can't even express how happy that made me. It was amazing.
We loved it. All right. Bye.